record. Okay, so yes, a 30-minute session all on the mat and no equipment required. So we're going to start in a seated position in the center of your mat. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, feet together, and sitting up nice and tall. Okay, so we're going to start off just with a little bit of the C curve, just mobilizing our spine, getting used to that rounding and straightening. So if you just put your hands in underneath your knees, and then when you're breathing out, you round the shoulders, tuck your chin into your chest and just lean back slightly. And then come back up again and straighten the spine, restacking. So rounding, turning your spine into that C shape, and then straightening into a nice straight spine. Good. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And breathe in. Good. A couple more. Lovely. And then if you just bring the soles of your feet together and come into a little bit of a butterfly stretch, just to try and open up the hips a little. So if you just kind of bob the knees up and down. And don't worry about how low they go. We're just trying to get a little bit of a stretch. Brilliant. And then bring the knees bent again. And you can keep your hands in underneath your knees if you need to, or we're going to release the hands into our shoulder width and chest height position. Good. All right, so breathe in, and then the same idea with the C curve, rounding of the spine, but this time just roll back a little further. Pause here in this reclined position to breathe in, and then breathe out, drawing abs in. Sit back up, and then restack and straighten your spine. Good. Breathe out, round down. Pause, breathe in. And breathe out, sit back up. And restack. Good. Two more exactly the same. Breathe in. And breathe out as you move. Restack. And one more, exhale down, breathe in, and breathe out, and restack. Lovely, we're going to add in some arm circles now. So again, breathe out, roll down. This time as you breathe in, bring the arms out wide and then up, and then exhale, sit back up and restack, breathing in, exhale down. Breathe in, circle, and then exhale, sit back up, breathe in, restack. Good, exhale down, inhale, circle, exhale forwards, and breathe in, restack. We'll do two more, exhale down, inhale, circle, exhale up, and inhale, restack. Last one, exhale down, inhale, circles, exhale, lift, and inhale, restack. Lovely. Now we're just going to work one leg at a time, okay? So just keep your arms kind of stretched out, and then we're going to lean back slightly. And then lift left knee in between. So if you kind of interlace your fingers together a little bit, and just lift that left knee up in between the hands, and then straighten the leg out. Good, lift the knee in, straighten the leg out. Lift knee in, straighten the leg out. Now stay here with just this. This can be challenging enough as it is. Or we're going to add in an extra recline as you stretch out the leg. And then breathe in. Bring everything back. Out, in, out, in. Good. Take breaks if you need to. Grab hold of the leg to have a little bit of respite in between, if you need to. Good, couple more. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to do the same on the right side. So just stretch out your left leg a little bit, wobble it around if you need to. And then we'll do the same with the right leg. So fingers interlaced together. Lean back slightly. Lift right knee in and stretch the leg out. In and out. In and out. Stay with just the leg if that's enough. Or let's add in some of the reclines. And up. Good. Core working really hard. Keep that chin tucked in towards your chest. Good. Take wee breaks if you need to. Couple more. Well done. And then come up into a sitting up position. You might feel like stretching forwards for a moment just to stretch out your back. And then come back into that butterfly stretch with the soles of your feet together. Pressing down a little bit onto the knees with the elbows. Brilliant. Lovely. Okay. Then bring your feet a little bit wider, so maybe out to the edges of your mat. And then if you imagine you're holding onto one of those massive big gym balls, you know, the big massive ones. So imagine you've got one of them in your arms. Good. Now we're going to lean back again with this C curve. And then we're going to take our ball over to the left, then all the way over to the right. Back to the center, and we sit back up again. And restack. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. And then twist to the left, twist to the right, back to the center, and sit up. Restack. And again, exhale back. Twist whole body and arms to one side, then rotate over to the other, back to the middle, and sit back up. Good, a few more. Twist, twist, back to the middle, sit back up, restack in between each time. Good, round and down, twist, twist, back to the middle, and sit up, restack. Good, exhale back. Move with your breath. Two more rounds. Exhale back. Breathe into the one side. Breathe out to the other. Into the center. Out to sit back up. Last time. And back to the center. Well done. One last time, just coming into that butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Good. Okay, and then we're going to roll ourselves down onto the floor completely. So hands either in behind the knees, if you're feeling tired, or using the core more with the arms extended. Breathing out slowly, roll yourself down onto the floor and feel each vertebra connect down with the floor. Good. Okay, now we're going to lift the legs up into our tabletop position and then flex the feet. So as if we're pulling the toes in towards the shins. Great. Now take a nice breath in, and then on your out breath, imagine you're pushing something away with your feet, bringing the legs to about a 45-degree angle. Then breathe in, bring them back. A little respite. Back further in than tabletop. So bringing them quite in onto your tummy. And then just repeat that. We're going to go for about 8 rounds, okay? So nice breath in, and then exhale, push. And in. And out. And in. Making sure that your back doesn't arch as you're straightening out the legs. If you're finding that happening, a big sort of arching in the middle section of your spine, imagine pushing the feet more up towards the ceiling rather than to the wall. 2 more. Good, take a little break, give the knees a hug. We're going to do the same, but with our toes pointed this time, okay? So we start with the legs in a sort of tabletop position or slightly further in. Nice breath in, and then this time toes pointed. Extend, back in, and out. In, and out. In, and out. In, and out. Remembering to watch out for your spine. Pointing more upwards to the ceiling if you need to. Good, 2 more. Lovely, give the knees a little hug in. And just sort of circle the feet, flex and point, just to sort of release the ankles and feet a little bit. And then pop your feet down onto the floor. We're going to stretch these hip flexors with a little bit of shoulder bridge. So getting into your neutral spine position, take a breath in, and then on the out breath, tilt the pelvis back, and then lift the glutes, lift the lower section of your spine, lift the middle section of your spine, and then squeeze into the glutes, pressing those hips up to the ceiling and feeling a nice stretch across the front of your hip flexors. And then when you're ready to breathe out again, just curl back down, middle section of your spine, lower section, and lastly, your hips and glutes. Good, breathe in, breathe out, tilt back and lift. Good. Inhale at the top, exhale to lower. And release. Another couple just. This is more just giving the abs a little bit of a rest before we go back into some core stuff. And getting a nice wee stretch across the hips as well. And down. Brilliant. Okay, now lift the arms up and bring your palms together. So you can keep your feet on the floor to begin with. And then as we progress, we're going to try lifting the legs into tabletop. If you're feeling up for a challenge tonight, go on ahead and start right away with your feet lifted into the tabletop position. Okay, we're going to go into oblique curl ups. Okay, so bringing our hands around the outside of our thighs. So take a nice breath in, and then on your out breath, curl up and bring those hands around to the outside of your right leg. And then breathe in, come back down again for a little breath. Exhale, lift up, hands round to the outside of your left thigh, so you're really lifting the whole right shoulder off. And then inhale, return to the floor. Exhale, back to the right side. Inhale, back to the floor. Exhale, over to the left side. And inhale, back to the floor. Try lifting the feet if you want to. Exhale, lift up, over to the right, and back, over to the left, and back. Good, slow, controlled movement. If you have your legs lifted, try keeping the knees and feet together. Good. And if you need to, you just pop the feet back down. If you feel that's allowing you to concentrate more on the abs, then that's fine. You pick your position. Good, one more to each side. Well done. And then relax. Good, bring your hands back down either side of the body. And this time just come up onto your tiptoes. We're going to lift the heels. And you might want to bring the toes then slightly closer back in towards you. And we're going to do some shoulder bridge with the heels lifted. So from here, take a breath in. And then on your out breath, same idea, tilt back. And then lift. You should really feel the hamstrings working hard now. If you're finding any sort of cramps happening, just pop the heels back down and do your normal shoulder bridge. And then curl back down again. Keep those heels raised. And then exhale, tilt pelvis, curl the spine and lift. Hold at the top for a nice breath in. And then exhale to lower. Good, keep your heels lifted. We'll do it 2 more times. Exhale, tilt back and lift. Breathe in at the top. And breathe out to lower. And last one. And lower. Brilliant. Just give your legs, give your knees a nice little hug in to the tummy or chest, and then do some nice little circles in one direction. And then the other direction, circles of the feet, I should have said, sorry, circles of the ankles. Brilliant. Okay, from here we're going to roll over onto our side. So we're going to do a few different variations of the clam. So you can be propped up on your elbow like this. Sometimes this can give you a wee extra challenge if you want. Or you can come down, be propped up on your elbow, or lying completely flat, whichever works for you, okay? Or play around with all 3 positions and see how you feel. So make sure your hips are stacked one on top of the other. Check in with the knees. And we're going to start just with a nice open and close, not worrying about keeping the feet together, okay? So breath in, and then on the out breath, just lift that top leg, but not so far that you tilt backwards. So just as high as you can, keeping the hips stacked. And then lower. Good. We'll do that 7 more times. Up and down. Up and down. Getting a nice squeeze on the glutes on this upper side. Good. Last one, I think. Do one for luck. Okay, good. Now we're going to turn the knees slightly. So if you just lift this top leg up a little bit and then turn it down. So you've got the knee pointing down and you have your foot pointing up towards the ceiling. Now we're just going to lift and lower from here. Now you might not lift very high. This feels quite strange, okay? So nice breath in. And then on your out breath, lift and lower. Good. And again, we're trying not to let the leg twist around. So you're trying to keep the knee always pointing down. Good. So just watch knee always points down rather than changing, and lifting the knee. That's it. Last couple. Ooh, good. Okay. Then we're going to try the normal clam, so we keep the feet together. Try having them lifted, so just your thighs, or rather your lower thighs, resting on the floor. If this is too uncomfortable, you can just keep that lower leg down as well. Okay, and then open and close the knees, but keep the heels or the feet together. Good. Squeeze the glutes, don't let your pelvis rock backwards. And lower. And again, up and down. Lift and lower. Brilliant. Good. 2 more if you can. Well done. And then relax. Good, you might like to give it a little pat on a rub. And then we will roll over and do those on the other side. So we start off with our nice open leg, lift and lower. So just check, again, check in with your hips, make sure they're stacked. Check how you want to support the upper body. You can be up in your elbow, see how that feels. Okay, so then a nice breath in, and then on the out breath, nice wide open lift, not worrying about the feet. And lower, good. Lift, and lower, lift, and down. Brilliant. Two more. Brilliant. Okay, next is the awkward one for me anyway. So we turn the knee. So lift the leg slightly, lift the upper leg slightly, and then bring that knee inwards, internally rotate that knee, foot pointing upwards, and then just lift and lower. Try to keep knee to heel at the same angle. Okay, so breath in, and then out breath, lift and lower. Good. Lovely. So again, the difference in this one, lifting up and then doing the rotation. So we don't want the rotation this time, we just want to be lifting the leg in this lovely awkward position. Good, last 2. Oh, well done. Good. Now the ordinary clam. So lift the lower half of the legs, lift the feet if you can. Nice breath in, and then exhale. Open, try not to let the pelvis rock back, and close. Lift, and down. Up, and down. Brilliant. Good, nearly there. 2 more. Oh, well done. Good, and relax down. Maybe giving it another wee hug or a wee pat and a rub. Brilliant. Then from here, roll back onto your back again. Arms out to the side and just let the knees kind of rock a little bit from side to side. Giving the glutes a little bit of a massage almost on the hard floor. Good. And then bring the legs bring the knees back into the center, hands down either side of the body. And we're going to lift our legs back up into this tabletop position. Okay, we're going to do some toe taps and heel drops. Okay, so nice breath in. And then on your out breath, contract in those abs, tap that right foot, the toes down to the floor, and lift back up. Then the left. And up, keeping the bend in the knee and hinging at the hip. Just alternating right and left. Good. Now pay attention to your lower back, to the lower spine and the middle section of your spine. We don't want any arching. That's why we use this nice contraction inwards of our lower abs to help secure that lower spine down into the floor. Good. Now a little cheeky flex at the feet and we change into heel drops. So we're just lowering the heel to the floor. Take a wee break if you need to and then jump back in. Good. You might like to put hands onto the hip bones as a little reminder, onto the lower abs. Good. Just a few more. Brilliant. And one more on each leg to finish. Well done. Give the knees a little hug in. That gives the lower back a little bit of a stretch and a massage. And then we'll do a little bit of a 4-point stretch. So feet flat on the floor. And then just lift, if you can, your right foot over onto your left knee. Now, if you have your band handy or something, if you struggle to reach around to behind the back of the thigh, feel free to use a band or something instead, or even just pull on your trousers. But what we want to try and do is lift our left leg in, reach through if we can, behind the left thigh, and just pull the legs back in towards the body. So you're getting a really good stretch around the glutes and also into the hip area. So you can intensify it slightly by pushing away your right knee, either with your hand or with your elbow. Good. And then we'll swap over and do the same on the other side. So left foot over onto your right knee, and then lift your right foot off the floor, reach through, pull behind the thigh or put your hands around behind the right thigh and just pull the leg in towards you, and at the same time try and push your left knee away. And just wriggle around a wee bit until you feel a stretch that feels nice. Nice-ish. Lovely. Good. Another one breath. And release. And then if you just hold on to your right knee, give it a nice hug in. Stretch your left leg out long along the floor. Good. And then swap sides. Hug the left knee in, stretch the right leg out. Good. And then just finishing off with some nice deep breathing. Hand on ribs, hand on belly if it helps you to focus. Closing your eyes as well if you feel comfortable enough doing that, and just breathing in slowly through the nose if possible, and exhaling slowly and deeply through the mouth. Just taking a few moments to breathe this way. Noticing the gentle movement of the body beneath the hands. And as I very often say, if you have the luxury of time, please feel free to linger here stretch a bit more, breathe a bit more. Otherwise, just allow the eyes to softly open again. And in your own time, just sit back up. And I will hit stop.